Well, I just had a couple of questions, maybe more personalize you. What do you tell young people that, want to be like you one day?
Well, the most important thing is having a passion and a work ethic. And I can tell you I had a passion, a burning passion and love for politics from a young age, and a work ethic instilled in me by my father. And I think the most important thing is intern, intern, intern. You know, everyone, especially a political campaign, they need and they want free help. You know, they need interns. So, I started interning in Republican politics in high school at my local field office for the Bush-Cheney campaign. Went on to intern in Congress, in the White House, Fox News, where I now host a show from 12 to 1. That was a great experience to be an intern there. So when you intern, you meet people along the way, you get invaluable experiences. And, step one is getting the internship, and then step two is rising to the occasion, because people are busy, they don't have time to give you a task. And so, when I was at Fox, for instance, I said, why don't I make my producer's job easier and try to write the opening script? It was just a few sentences for Hannity's show that I was working on, and I just wrote the little 4 sentences, put it on his desk, and one day he said, these look pretty good. Maybe you should start doing this. And it ended up where he let me write it, he would edit it, and then I'd get to go and actually sit and help do the video editing at the back end. And the whole point of that story is just to say, get the internship and then rise to the occasion.
That's a great answer. I think Kayleigh is probably one of the most famous and favorite press secretaries ever. Do you agree?
You're sweet. Thank you.
This is corny, but I've just been saving it all night. She ain't no circle back girl. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
Thank you. That's so sweet. You guys are the best. This is, I could say, one of the best crowds I've been at. You can tell Charlie they're giving Turning Point USA a run for their money.
Well,
I'm kidding. I love Charlie Kirk. He's the best.
We support Turning Point, so
I love Charlie Kirk. I speak there every year.
Yep. Yeah. So.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah. So. I generally find that successful people have morning routines. Do you have some type of morning routine that you typically do that maybe you could share?
Oh, yikes. My sister, Ryan, actually wanted to video our morning routines because she goes crazy. It's so chaotic. We were staying with my parents for a little bit in between houses, and there were 3 barking dogs, a daughter screaming, my 1-year-old and 8 months, running back and forth. I'm on a conference call. My sister's on a conference call. At one point, they were changing doors out on the wall of my parents' house. It was absolute and utter chaos. So my morning routine is trying to prepare for my hour-long television show amid absolute chaos.
Okay, fair enough. I was like, I expected like coffee, workout.
No, there's coffee, yeah.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Avoid the chaos. I like that. So, well, what does it mean to you? I love the title of your book, to be a Christian serving in politics. And what do you encourage young people to do to stay true to their faith?
Yeah, I think one thing is this. I saw a tweet from Tim Keller earlier. He's a great pastor in New York, and he talked about tolerance. And tolerance does not mean that you ever sacrifice your principle or your beliefs, but it means learning to respect the other side. And I can tell you that when you're in this political realm, there's Democrats, there's Republicans, obviously opposite sides of the aisle, but you can tell when you meet a Christian in the other party, and your hearts just kind of connect in a way that transcends the chaos of the U.S. political process. And I think looking at others with grace and understanding is so helpful. A good example of this to me is Van Jones, who's a CNN commentator, someone I could not be more opposite of politically. But when I first started at CNN, it was not easy. It was 8-on-1 panels, Democrats on me, the one Republican, oftentimes. And when I first walked into the green room, Van Jones looked at me and he said, "Kayleigh, I love your cross." And he had never met me, but the fact that he said that to me and then his heart just shone throughout after. He gave me his little mirror to get food out of my teeth. He was just so kind and gracious, and he has a great reputation because he's a great Christian man, and he can see beyond party because there's something bigger, and it's Jesus Christ and it's Christianity. So if you carry that grace with you, then you can exhibit grace under fire.
Kayleigh, I obviously don't know your husband, but I see the pictures. You have a beautiful family. What do you tell young women here about finding the right mate, life partner, husband, and maybe share a little bit of your story if you're comfortable? So.
Yeah, we met on Twitter, so there's that. Yeah, so Twitter was good for one thing. They might have banned me with the Hunter Biden story, but I guess I got to give them a break because I met Sean on there. I basically was living in New York City and wasn't very much aligned with many of the people I was meeting. And I saw this guy in camo who played for the Mets, and I was like, whoa, that looks like more like my dad, wearing camo. And so I reached out to him, and I sent him a message, and we met and had a great dinner and hit it off, and we ended up getting married. And then, I joined the what? Oh, well, he was with the Mets at the time, but... we ended up getting married. I joined the Trump campaign, and I thought, what better time to have a child than after having accepted this job as National Press Secretary. But I tell you all of this just to say, if you have that desire in your heart to be a wife or a mother, it's there for a reason. But you can also be a career person. I never gave up my career, but I did, as much as I pursued my career, I pursued the idea of finding a Christian mate. I pursued the idea of being a mother alongside one another. And, don't give up that desire in your heart. I know it may seem impossible. It seemed impossible for me to find the right time to have a child, but I can tell you it's, in the context of a marriage, it's always the right time. And a pregnancy always ends up great no matter what, because it ends in a little beautiful baby, in my case, like baby Blake. So pursue those dreams, and if you have that desire, it's there for a reason, I promise you.
I love that. She said you could have the best of both worlds, women, so that's awesome. Go do it. All right, well, Kayleigh, let's give it up for Kayleigh McEnany
Thank you.
one more time.
Thank you, guys.